It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this absolutely invigorating, robust lifestyle show. I would first like to take a moment and thank each one of our listeners who have tuned in live today and the ones that will be listening to the recording on the podcast. I am just so very grateful for each and every one of you listeners. And you are all in for a very, very special treat today, as I have with me a returning diva and friend, Nancy Lee Gearson. And her and I are going to chat about horses as life coaching partners. And I am just so excited for this chat today, and you guys are going to be filled with so much information. And Nancy, could you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Absolutely. I first want to express my pleasure and gratitude to be a returning diva on the show, Joyce. There are many, many powerful, inspiring women doing great works in the world, and I don't take it lightly that I could be invited back onto the show. It's terrific. Thank you so much. So I'm Nancy Lee Gearson. Joyce and I met through the horse, as with many of my now good friends and colleagues. The horse has brought us together. Joyce is aware that I wrote an equine memoir called The Horse Who Changed My Life, My Serendipitous Journey Through Equus. She liked what she heard in it, and we got together and had a chat on a previous radio cast. And we've got a couple of different themes we've talked about, and today we're going to talk about coaching with horses, because I'm a certified equine coach from a program out in Colorado from which I graduated, a rigorous 2-year program. And so with the time we have, Joyce and I always want to go over, but for the time we have, we're going to talk a little bit about how it is to be a life coach partnering with your horses.
Oh, this is just going to be great. Thank you so much, Nancy, and it is my honor to have you back on my show. You are an incredible diva, an incredible horse lady, and all the way around. And before we start, I want to take just a moment and congratulate you on you and your book have won an award at the 2022 Equus Film and Art Festival. That is just such an honor. And I just want to congratulate you and let our listeners know that you received that award.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if I should be remembering to say I've written an award-winning book. I probably can't manage to be that immodest, so I probably wouldn't have said it, but it honestly wasn't even on my mind. The award was just won within the last. Thank you for mentioning that. I'm really, really honored that there were a lot of books in the equine inspiration and spirituality category for which the award was given. Lots of great books. The Equus Film and Art Festival it was in its 10th year. It was and is a big deal. My daughter took the photograph of me holding the award and the book up with the backdrop of my other daughter's painting of 6 horses. So we like to keep things in the family with my love of horses and their love of horses, too. We all love horses.
Oh, that's just awesome. I love it. Well, I just wanted to share that. And I'm going to let you start to talk, since you are a certified life coaching partner with horses, to just let you kind of tell what you would like to share to our listeners today, where your heart feels led that our listeners need to hear about this.
Yeah, thanks. As you know from talking with me in the past, I don't feel the need to have lots of scripted material. Sometimes, I do give a little reflection to what we're going to be talking about, but I don't feel the need to have a big script in front of me. It just occurred to me that I could just tell you a little bit about a couple of equine coaching sessions that I did, of course, without naming names as such. In my book, I do have a bunch of coaching sessions described. A couple of the people wanted their first name used, and the rest of them were just totally anonymous in the book. So the program was rigorous. It was 2 years. It had a lot of practicing as a client, practicing as a coach, practicing with the horses who belong to the head of the program, and then practicing with my own horses. And the magical thing, Joyce, was after graduating from the program, and even just before graduating, the experience of seeing your own horses do some of this coaching work, and not just your mentor, your mentor's horses. It's just really a revelation. It brings home the point that special horse, or the special person who has the special horse that can do coaching. Many horses like to do the healing work. Contrary to what some people will say, I might be a little radical here, but I don't believe that all horses want to be involved in it. I think a good deal of them do want to be, but I don't think there's any reason for us to say that every horse wants to do healing work any more than all people want to be involved in the healing arts. But when a horse wants to be involved in partnership, wow, it's really something. And especially when you see that it's not just some special horses, but your very own horses. It's dynamite. So the way I will start a session, it could be different ways. It's a Gestalt coaching format that I learned, and Gestalting is about kind of being in the moment and finishing whatever unfinished business is in the client's background. So with Gestalting, it's very experiential. You want the client not to just be doing a lot of talking, but actually being with the horse, experimenting and experiencing right in the round pen. I use a round pen. What I like to do is I sit outside the round pen. I usually have the horse that we're going to work with already in the round pen. Some people let their horses kind of show up in the barn. Whichever horse seems the most interested. Some horses will show that they really are actively interested in what's going on with the client and the coach, and they'll come right up to the edge of their rails. Other people, like me, I tend to decide which horse I'm going to work with, and I have them in the round pen when the client comes, and we sit in a couple of chairs outside the round pen and do a little grounding exercise. There are lots of different ones. I was in a philosophy school for 20-odd years, and so the grounding exercise that I use, it's called the pause. And really coming into the present moment, I won't take a lot of time with that. A lot of people know grounding, centering exercises. So I do that. And then I like to work with a wisdom deck, a deck of cards. There are many different kinds of wisdom decks, inspirational decks. I have the client pull a card and read it. They can read it aloud, or they can read it silently. I might ask them what strikes them about it. And then, it kind of gets the juices flowing a little bit, see what's up for them. It's just amazing. These decks are just so wonderful, separate and apart from coaching with horses. You can pull a card from a deck in the morning, and the mind and the heart and the soul will do what they will with the words, and something will generally surface to look at as the day goes on. They're magical, these decks. Highly recommend them. So the client will tell me what's come up for them as they read, and then I will ask them if they'd like to explore it with me with a few minutes, and then it's into the round pen. Then it's just right in. I always ask, not usually, I ask if they've had prior experience being around horses. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's their comfort level, just to get a little read on it. And they go into the round pen. I have them go to the center of the ring, close their eyes if they're comfortable. If not, they can just lower them. I love when clients are willing to close their eyes, because to me that's a deeper experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And again, a little more grounding. And I can't tell you, I can't even think of the times when it hasn't happened. There's been 1 or 2 times, but it's very rare that the horse will not end up going right up to the client. And it's especially sweet when the client has chosen to close their eyes. When they open their eyes and this 1,000-pound horse has silently and calmly come up to their side. Occasionally they're facing the client directly, but often they're just side by side with them. And that's how a session can begin. And really, from there, it's just quite magical to witness. I'm on the outside. I don't go inside. And sometimes the client just grounding with the horse can already start having some revelations. Sometimes it happens very, very fast. There's a whole science to the entrainment of the horse's heart rate and frequency to the humans. It's actually the other way around. The human entrains to the horse's calmer frequency. There's a whole heart math section to that. That's probably another talk. But
yes.
Sometimes, sometimes people can start having things bubble up just standing there with the horse. But other times I get them moving. And here's the magic that I learned is that you want people to be moving in the round pen, not just standing still, because most people get into their heads and start telling stories. And the stories are, you could guess this, they're usually about the past. They're not usually about the present or the future, maybe the present, but largely the past. So when people move, they tend to stay present better. I've explored this with myself, and it's really true. The movement is better. It's less ruminating. So then the horse will come along with them. It's just really beautiful to see. Once they've grounded together in the center, when the person moves out to the perimeter of the ring and starts walking, the horse will almost invariably, it's very rare that it doesn't happen, the horse will come along, do a little buttonhole, and hang on near the inside shoulder of the person, and they walk around together. And sometimes there's a coaching question I might ask, something that came up on the card perhaps. Sometimes I'll give a stem sentence. I might say something like, in my perfect world, I see, and then I let them fill it in. And walking, if they stop and the horse stops too, I ask them just gently, keep moving, keep walking, and they repeat over and over. In my perfect world, I see. In my perfect world, I see. That's just one. Literally, it just came up right now. I've never actually used that one. That just came to mind. And then I ask them to go back to the center of the ring. Again, it's gestalting, it's experiential. If it doesn't feel like it's the time for them to go back to the center, then I don't ask them. But generally, after a few minutes of circling around, they go back to the center. The horse comes with them at that point. They're really joined. And I ask them if there's anything that they need to say. Do they need to come out of the ring? And usually at that point, the horse is just all over them. Sometimes they start doing chakra balancing. Some of the horses want to do that. Yeah, they start sniffing the top of the client's head. They do different things to make the person feel really secure. And sometimes clients have quite a lot of revelation. Sometimes funny things can happen. Just any number of things. I appreciate, Joyce, that this is a particularly long stretch of my talking without your getting a chance to add some valuable thoughts. So I'm just going to pause for a moment. Perhaps you'd like to say something.
Oh, Nancy. Oh, this is just so beautiful. I'm just absorbing it because I'm experiencing it, because I feel it with my horses all the time, and I've had people come out from the city and be around the horses, and it is so interesting. Like you said, not all horses want to be involved in the work. I have a mare that when people come around, she goes the other direction, and that's perfectly fine. It's just not the two geldings, especially both of them. The one he likes to take more towards, he's very gentle, and he likes smaller. I call them smaller people. That's what he likes, the children, the little ones. And then I have another horse that he just, I have a gal that's intimidated by the bigness of him, and he is just so gentle. It's just absolutely amazing to watch. It's magical. There's no other word to describe it. You used that word many times, and that's exactly what I call it. It's very magical. And I loved how you used the cards, because I have a deck of cards, and it is amazing when you pull that card how that resonates with you on that day. It is absolutely incredible too with those. They're magical too. You call them a wisdom really deck of cards.
They really are, and that's a nice. That's a nice segue into a little description of one of the coaching sessions that I did. This one, my client pulled a card, and she read it out loud, and she emphasized. I could just tell in the reading, the inflection of her words, what was striking her. And so she looked up. I think her eyes were like moist. The card had really spoken to her. I think she hadn't really done this kind of work before, so she was very ripe for it as well. And I said to her, as you were speaking, and I can say her name actually because she's somebody who gave me permission to use it in the book. Her name is Tamara. I said, Tamara, as you were speaking, I heard 3 words, and I love triads. I've probably told you this, Joyce. I love 3s. And I said, I heard you say, surrender, honor, and respect. And I said, I drew it in the air, a triad with surrender on the top and then honor and respect on the sides. And she was quite taken by it. And I made sure that she knew it was her wisdom. As I said, you had an inflection in your voice on those 3 words. I'm just saying it back to you. That's your wisdom. And so with that, this idea came to mind, which is largely what you can do with the Gestalt experiential kind of coaching. An idea came to mind to use some props. Often you use props. You can use a wand or a crown or a sword, different things. In this instance, suddenly I had this idea of using a bouquet of plastic flowers. So I left her for half a minute, went 20 feet away to my tack room, got the bouquet of flowers, and I handed it to her. And I asked her to, before going into the round pen, where the horse already was, my horse Saint, I asked her to walk around the outside of the round pen, just go in clockwise, around the outside, and just contemplate what was going to be surrendered. Because the card was about surrendering negative ideas, things that are no longer necessary, like that. So, wow, it was gorgeous. She took it very seriously, very, very earnestly. That's the word I mean, earnestly. She walked slowly. She was a kind of a quick-moving kind of person. But in that exercise, Joyce, she moved quite slowly, plucking the plastic leaves and petals. And I had, of course, assured her she could do that. And she just She did it very slowly, occasionally stopping for a few seconds, then proceeding. And guess what the horse did? Oh, yes. The horse was on the inside of the rail. It would have been like a video. It was so stunning. Saint just went along. He was my older horse. He liked to move slowly anyway. So he walked on the inside, and when she stopped, I mean it, he stopped. And then I had her come back to the chair. Mind you, we hadn't even been in the round pen yet. And she said, I just have to tell you, I surrendered all the negative ideas that I've been holding about myself, and at the same time, I was honoring my ancestors, and those were the flowers that I didn't pluck off. I left my ancestors and the people that I honor on the stem, and I just plucked off what I was surrendering. It was just so beautiful. And then we went into the round pen. So she went in rather. And she was around, she happened to know my horses, and she was a horsewoman herself. She had rescued 3 horses. What a beautiful soul Tamara is. So I didn't need to do a 1 to 10 comfort with her. She, as I say, especially because she'd been around my horses. So she went into the round pen. And then she started circling around, and I'll just kind of cut to the beautiful work that Saint did. At one point, she stopped walking, Tamara did, and her back was to Saint. I'm trying to remember why that was. Let's see. They were walking together. At some point, Saint stopped walking, and Tamara kept going, and that right there was interesting. And I had her keep walking, and then she came to a stop on her own, and her back happened to be to Saint. That was just the way it ended up. Saint was on one side of the round pen. Tamara was on the other. Saint was staring at Tamara's back. And then he did in sequence 3, and she didn't see it, of course. I saw it. He did a licking and chewing. He hung his head all the way down to the ground, and he passed gas. All 3 of those. It was just, it was so stunning. Within I don't even know, I won't make up the time frame. I think it must have been a good couple of minutes. Maybe it was just a minute. It seemed longer. All 3 of those. The licking and chewing, dropping his head all the way down, and the passing gas was the last bit. And I called out to Tamara quietly, and I said, Tamara, Saint just did some remarkable releasing. What's been going on? And she, as I said, she hadn't seen it, but she had been standing there. She had tears in her eyes. It sounds like I'm scripting this for a movie, but it was that. It's everything I'm saying is true, of course. And her eyes were teary. And she had been in the middle of just letting go of whatever hadn't been let go of outside while she was walking around. And it was so powerful that she actually asked if she could circle around some more with the bouquet. She had some more to do. So, of course, I said yes. And she walked around some more. She went back into the round pen. She thanked Saint for his, I always ask clients to thank the horse for their presence. And then she came out of the round pen, and honestly, I would have to look up in my book what happened after that. I just remember that I let her keep the card, and I remember I gave her a bottle of water because, as she was coming out of the round pen for the second time, she said that she suddenly felt really tired, which surprised her because it was a very wakeful session. She was surprised. I wasn't, because I know that, the inner work can be exhausting, can take something, it gives you and it takes from you, and that's that whole toggling. And so I had her sit down and gave her some water. That's my memory of it. I did not review my book story before coming on. So if any readers buy my book and I've gotten parts wrong, I sincerely apologize. I meant come with integrity to the story.
But that was just beautiful, because as you were telling that about Saint, I could just feel that he was releasing negative energy that she was releasing. And it is just beautiful how the horses respond like that. It's just magical. That is exactly what I call it, because I've had so many experiences with mine, and it is just absolutely incredible. Oh, Nancy, this has just been, it's just totally touched my heart, and I feel like we've only talked for about 5 minutes, and we are coming to the end of our show, and I'm like,
it's incredible.
Oh my
goodness.
Again? Incredible again. I had said that I feel this could be a part 2, and I would love to have you back for a part 2 of this one.
That would be great, because we just start in, and then before you know it, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I suddenly had this memory of the Carol Burnett show, and she sings. I won't try to do it, but she sings a little line or two at the end of her shows about having. I'm so glad we had this time together. There, I did it anyway. So yeah, I'm so glad we had this time together. It always just flies so, Joyce.
Oh, I just love it. I just love it. Well, Nancy, the one thing I would like to ask, please share with our listeners how they may connect with you, because being a Gestalt coach and all you are doing with the horses and your books, what is the best way that our listeners may connect with you and get in contact with you, Nancy?
Oh, yes, thank you. Kept things pretty simple. I've had the same email for, since dial-up and AOL. I've got the same email. It's Nancy Lee Gerson @yahoo.com, and my name is spelled NancyLeeGerson. My website that my artist daughter designed is also very simple. It's nancyleegerson.com. She kept it very, very simple and yet elegant and artistic. People can buy the book directly from me, which I love, because then I can autograph it and write a personal note. It's also, there's a button to click for Amazon and Indie Books and some other retailers. But I love when people buy directly from me. I'm on Instagram at NancyLeeG8. And then my personal Facebook page is simply, again, Nancy Lee Gerson. And I just want to tell your listening audience that I've got about 270 pages of the rough first draft of my next animal-related book, fiction this time. Very excited. Yeah, it takes place in an animal rescue, and it's going to have teenagers on the spectrum running an equine program, and it's going to have goat yoga in it. Wow. Yummy. I'm excited.
Oh, I am too. I am so excited, Nancy. And Nancy, I definitely would like to have you return, and we will do a part 2 to Horses as Life Coaching Partners if you are interested in doing that.
I think I used the words delighted and honored. And since I like triads, let's go for one more word. I'll be delighted, honored, and tickled to come back.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, I love all that. Oh, that is so awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nancy, and may you and your horses have a very magical day today.
Blessings to you and Candace and all of your loved ones, furry and otherwise. Thank you so much again. What a pleasure, Joyce.
Oh, you are so welcome. And I would like to thank all of our listeners for listening to this absolutely incredible interview with our amazing returning diva, Nancy Lee Gerson. And you heard her. She will be back. Please share this show with all your family and friends. Check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. Have a magical day, and remember how the horses can ground you and how magical horses are in your lives. And be kind to all, give your animals a hug, and share all your love with them. Until we connect again on Robust Life, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.